Hi everyone, welcome to the Zenned Out IGTV. My name is Erin, I'm part of Team Zenned Out, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Yule today. So some of you might know Yule as the winter solstice. It's one of the holidays or Sabbats on the wheel of the year, and it's this Saturday, December 21st. So Yule is an ancient pagan holiday. It's been celebrated for a very long time. And the invitation of Yule really is to honor the darkness and to call forth the light. Yule is about rebirth. It's happening on the longest night, the darkest day of the year. And after Yule, we begin to get a little more light every day, slowly, very slowly. But there's a shift here. Yule is the peak of darkness, and so with that, there's this deep invitation for us to honor our shadow, to honor our darkness, and at the same time, plant seeds of rebirth, call forth the light within us, start to connect with the light. And plant seeds of rebirth for the coming later months, the coming year, and in our case, the coming decade. So Yule is a really beautiful holiday and I love it so much. And on the blog this week, I wrote a card spread for you that you can use. So it's a 5-card spread to just help you connect with your personal invitation of Yule. And I also included some other ritual suggestions that you might like to connect with at this time that you could do on Saturday. So you can find that at the link in our bio. And I wanted to go through the cards with you here, and I've pulled some cards using the ritual deck, which is our gorgeous oracle deck, and you can find that as well, of course, at the link in our bio. So I'm going to share the questions for the card spread with you, and you can use an oracle deck like this one, or you can use a tarot deck. You're welcome to use any kind of cards that resonate with you. And I pulled some cards, so I'm just going to share what they are for us. So the first question is, what am I being invited to release as we shift into the lighter days? And I pulled Carnelian. And so what we're being invited to release collectively is warrior energy. That's what really came through with this card. Carnelian is so many things, and it's a beautiful stone that feels really resonant for me. But we're actually being invited to soften ambition, to soften our warrior energy, and to soften any pressure that we put on our creativity to perform for us, to make money for us, to be a certain way, or to fit into a certain box. And so with that, the second question is advice for helping this release move through me. And I've got the wand. And so the wand, you can see there are words at the bottom of each card and correspondences. And for the wand, it's manifestation, honor, and directness. So to me, this is an invitation to use magic to help us soften, to help us shift away from the warrior energy, to soften ambition, to soften the pressure we put on creativity. So using our magical practice to really honor ourselves and to be really clear, to direct energy away from that and towards the third question, which is seeds to plant for the coming later days. And I've got lavender. Lavender for relief, for worthiness, for tranquility. So for peace. So we're really clearly being asked to plant seeds of softness, of tranquility, of restoration. And this might seem a little counterintuitive since we're shifting into the lighter days and the waxing part of the year, but there is so much darkness still ahead of us, right? Even though the days are starting to get lighter, that's absolutely true. We're shifting into a new year. We are still in winter. We're still in winter. We're still in the hibernation period. And this feels like a call for us to soften into that and to let that be true rather than fight it, to truly live seasonally and rhythmically. So to give ourselves practically with lavender more sleep time, more rest time, to plant seeds of knowing that our worthiness has nothing to do with what we do in the world, of what we produce, of what we create, but is really innate within us, softening into the knowing of that. And our fourth question is, what is being reborn in my life? So collectively, there's a rebirth around generosity, partnership, and exchange. We've got a rune card here, and I have no idea if this is how you pronounce this, but Gabo, I'm assuming that's wrong. But that's okay. You don't have to know how to pronounce the rune names to be able to use the deck. So collectively, a rebirth around generosity, partnership, and exchange. Exchange is huge. Exchange is everything. This is actually something that has been really on my mind this whole year. And when we're out of exchange, that can mean so many things, and we can be out of exchange in so many ways, right? We can think of what we're pouring into something, whether it's work, it's a relationship, it's into ourselves maybe, is not what we're getting back. We're not being met. So we're being asked to look at our lives and see, where am I out of exchange? Where am I out of alignment with exchange that feels good? And what am I going to do about that? Does that mean that I need to set better boundaries in certain relationships? Does that mean that I need to shift away from certain relationships? Does this mean I need to change the way I talk to myself, because the way that I tell myself how unworthy I am is really creating all of these unequal exchanges in my life, and it's not about other people, it's about me. So these kinds of questions, there's a rebirth that's asking to move through us, and let's allow it, shall we? And the last question is how to honor ourselves at this time. And so I pulled gray, the feather card. So how to honor ourselves at this time with neutrality, with teamwork, with the middle path. And actually, I want to read, if I can find it quickly enough, what it says in the ritual guidebook here. There's this beautiful guidebook that comes with the ritual deck. So let's see what we got. I might not be able to find it quickly enough, and I don't want to make you wait. Maybe just take a deep breath while I'm looking for this. Found it, but let's take a deep breath anyways, yeah? Okay. So how to honor yourself at this time. The mantra for the gray feather card is, I consider all options with an open heart. The gray feather wafts into your life to remind you that there is always a middle path. It can be easy to view things as black and white, but it is in exploring the shades of gray that we find a divine space of harmony. So this is how we honor ourselves at this time. We consider all options with an open heart. We don't put pressure on ourselves to be at either end of the extremes, right? We don't have to be in the black or in the white. We can be somewhere in between, in the more confusing space, the void space of gray. But ultimately, often, the more rich space, the more fruitful space, the more magical space. So this is how we honor ourselves at this time. So try this spread out for yourself. This is a collective reading, so it's relevant for all of us, and it definitely feels relevant for me. But your specific reading, your reading that you do for yourself will be much more specific to you. So you can find all of the questions. You don't have to rewind this video, pause all of that. You can just go to zennedout.com, link in the bio. Did I say link in description before? I meant bio. The link is in the bio. If you would like to do this spread for yourself. And remember, you can use a tarot deck, you can use an oracle deck, you can do whatever you like. You could also not use a deck, and you could just sit in meditation and download this information. You could ask your spirit guides, your ancestors to share these answers with you. There are so many ways to work with divination and to reflect and return to our intuition, which is ultimately what cards help us do. So blessed Yule, everyone, from Team Zenned Out. We love you, and let us know what this spread meant to you, what it brought up for you. Feel free to comment below and share. We would love to hear.